Hey, this is Charles Folkart again on March the 9th, 2017. And this video is about Amazon.com and Jeff Bezos. And I'm just going to come right out and say it. If you don't know already, Jeff Bezos is a Jew. He has the parentheses around his name. And I think we need to stop beating around the bush. And they may shut down my channel, and that's part of the problem, and that's what I want to talk about here. As I've said in other videos, Amazon and Lulu.com removed my book, Deadbeat Dad, from their website, their self-publishing websites. And without any explanation whatsoever, they just said, we got a complaint, there's a privacy issue, we're taking your book off, and basically, up yours. And that's it. I sent them an email. I asked them what the problem was. They don't answer. So I'm not a quitter. I'm not going to let this lie. And I don't know exactly how this is going to work out, but I'm not going to let it lie. So this morning, I sent them another email. And I'm going to show you that email here in a moment. But I want to bring you first to their content policy at Amazon so that you can understand the frustration that those of us who get their books censored at Amazon and other self-publishing sites and what we go through. And I think that my book needs to be read by any young white male considering getting married or considering having children, because it exposes the American legal system and what a white male will be up against should he get married, and especially if he has children and his wife files for a divorce. So I didn't change the names because it's a true story. And if there's privacy issues, then tell me what they are and I'll remove them from the book. But I don't think that someone should just be able to get an attorney and send Amazon a letter and say, boo-hoo, we don't like the fact that what we did is being made public, and we'd like you to remove Mr. Folkart's book. And then I don't even get a chance to respond or refute the allegation. They should have to go to court and prove that I've broken a privacy law. And if they don't do that, Amazon should tell them, go to court, win your case, and come back with a court order and we'll remove the book. That gives me a chance to defend myself, and that gives me a chance to remove any offending material that violates a law. Amazon and Lulu have become a law unto themselves, and they are determining what is going to get published on their site and what is not. And so they're doing it also with revisionist history. Anything anti-Holocaust, anything exposing the hoax of the Holocaust gets thrown out now. That is wrong, and this is wrong because we've allowed these Jews to have a monopoly in too many areas in our country. They have a monopoly in the Federal Reserve System. They have a monopoly in the banking system. They have monopolies all over. They have a monopoly in the mainstream media. They have a monopoly on social media. And the reason they get this monopoly is they get access to financing that's not available to the non-Jew. You give me a revolving line of credit in the billions of dollars like Jeff Bezos got to start Amazon.com, and I will be a billionaire also. That's what they do. They cut off your funds. My funds in my real estate development project was cut off right at the end of my project when I had made almost all the improvements. I didn't owe the bank hardly any money at all, and they refused to renew my line of credit. And that's how they get you. And then they get to take over your project, because now you can't find the funds to finish the project. And that's another story. I mean, that's a part of the story that's in this book. And they don't want you to read how they do it, how they use the legal system and the financial system to ruin white males in this country. So let's go have a look at the content guidelines at Amazon.com, shall we? Okay, here we are. Content guidelines, Amazon.com, Kindle Direct Publishing, the legal program policies, content guidelines. Your books and other content, such as book titles, cover art, product descriptions, must adhere to these content guidelines. And we reserve the right to make judgments about whether content is appropriate and to choose not to offer it. Okay, my content is obviously not pornographic. My content, they never said anything about it being offensive. And the only thing they mentioned was in this subtitle of their content guidelines: we take violations of laws and property rights very seriously. Yeah, right. Except when you do it. When you break the law and when you don't protect the rights of the authors, then you don't care about that. But you say here, Amazon.com says, it is your responsibility to ensure that your content doesn't violate laws or copyright, trademark, privacy, publicity, or other rights. Okay, fine. Now, if that is the case, why doesn't Amazon.com or Lulu tell me what privacy issues were violated? And backing up from that, who is Amazon.com to decide whether or not a privacy issue has been violated or not in the first place? That's what courts of law are for. Why doesn't the person who's alleging the violation of these rights, their rights, sue me in court and win their case in court? I'd be happy to go to court, and I can hold my own in court, but they don't want to do that. They don't want to do that in court. And I have other videos that show you that when you're right, they don't want you to have equal rights in the courtroom. They don't want to go to court. So I have no idea who it is that is alleging these violation of rights, and I don't even know what the allegations are. My content has just been removed with no opportunity to defend myself. And I am suggesting that that is a travesty, because these people, these Jews, get a monopoly in too many areas in our nation, in our society, be it Facebook or Twitter or YouTube or Google or the Federal Reserve or Amazon.com. The list is almost endless, isn't it? The New York publishing houses, magazine articles, newspaper articles, these people have a lock on it, and nothing gets in unless they allow it to get in. And we're moving away from published printed material to online ebooks, Kindle books, etc. So now they have a monopoly there, and they're able to keep content off their sites if they don't agree with it. If it's revisionist history or books like mine that expose the American legal system to how feminist women can use the legal system to destroy white males in this country. And this is why these criminals, these cretins, have been kicked out of over 109 times out of different countries down through history. And it's time that these criminals get kicked out of our country again. These people need to go. Let's go have a look at the correspondence that I had with Amazon.com this morning. Before we do that, though, look at this down here. Draw your attention. Poor customer experience. Oh, Amazon is so concerned about poor customer experience. Well, Amazon, I'm having a poor customer experience. Can you do something about my poor customer experience? They asked for your feedback. I sent them my feedback. Again, this is the second time I've tried to get some customer satisfaction as an author, as a creator of a work. And I say, I had my nonfiction title, Deadbeat Dad, removed under the broad label of violating, quote, privacy issues without my knowing what the particular offense was or offenses were. I can find no statements as to what Amazon guidelines are as to what constitutes a violation of your agreement related to privacy issues. And I ask a question in a polite manner. Can you kindly inform me of your guidelines regarding privacy issues and or what I must do to the content to republish? Now that's a very basic question. There's two questions there. Okay? If my content, if my book has privacy issues, what are they? And what must I do to the content concerning the privacy issues to republish my book? Number two down here. Can I modify the content from nonfiction to fiction by changing the names? I'll go through the book. I'll change all the names. Nobody will know who the original were, the real life people, however you want to put it. It'll go from nonfiction to fiction. And if I can do that, if I can modify the book from nonfiction to fiction, to what extent must the alteration of names or other content be? Can I use the first name, for example, and a last initial? Do I have to change the name completely? I'm willing to do whatever it is because you're not telling me specifically what the violations are. So now I'm going to have to change the entire book instead of just the specific issues. If they would just tell me, here's a copy of the letter we got from so-and-so. We think you have the right to look at the allegations and you have the right to respond to them. So here's the allegations. What do you say, Mr. Folkart? See? But no, they don't do that. They just take the book off of the website. They take it out of the public domain. And it's not like I can go to a New York publisher and get it published there. They don't want to touch this kind of stuff. It's not on their agenda. So then I ask them, okay, what? Also, am I free to upload other content not related to Deadbeat Dad? In other words, I make it as plain as I possibly can. Can I upload new works? I ask because it looks as if my account has been disabled in some way to prevent uploading new work. Thank you. Sincerely, Charles Folkart. Now, those are basic polite questions that I feel, if they're really concerned about their customers' experience, that they would take the time to answer the questions. I spent hundreds of hours on the book. I think the public has a right to read the book, and we live in a society that values free speech. Or do we, Amazon and Jeff Bezos? So here's their response. Hello, thank you for your email regarding the following titles. Deadbeat Dad, an unbelievable but true story of how the American legal system creates deadbeat dads. Thank you for providing feedback, as we consider it extremely valuable. And to that I say, male cow dung. You only talk about the feedback being valuable. You really don't care about feedback if it doesn't agree with your policy. Anyway, let's go on. After further review, we have decided to uphold our previous decision and will not be making the books available for sale on Amazon. I don't know, do these people think I'm a friggin' idiot? I got that. You don't want to tell me why you're not going to make the books available, other than it's a privacy issue. You won't show me the letter that you received and who the letter is from, and you won't allow me an opportunity to defend myself and my work. But if my work was an obscene depiction or an obscene or a attack on Christianity, you would probably not do a darn thing about somebody objecting to it. You would let it stay because that fits into your agenda, but I digress. And then you go on saying, we appreciate your cooperation in this matter. We apologize for any inconvenience and look forward to publishing more of your books soon. Yeah, again I say, male cow dung. I told you that there's a problem, there's an apparent problem, and I can't upload any new books. And then you suggest I go and learn more. Please see our content guidelines at the link we already looked at. If you have any questions regarding the review process, you can write to us again. I've already written to you. This is the second time. Let's go have a look at my third response to Mr. Ryan L. They never use their names anymore. They hide behind a facade they anonymous people are dealing with, and that is getting sickening. I want to be able to find, who is this guy, Ryan L. Okay? It used to be you could talk to somebody and you knew who they were and they actually answered your question, but that's gone by the wayside now. So I respond, you didn't answer my questions. I mean, can't these people read? Can't they spend a couple minutes in responding and answering the questions? My questions were, they're not all of them here, but the ones I want answered is what I must do to the content to republish. I know, can't you answer my questions? Can I modify the content from nonfiction to fiction by changing names? That's a yes or a no. Can I upload new works? Please answer my questions. Thank you, Charles. And if you weren't aware of it, this guy Bezos, this Jew Bezos, has got a $600 million contract with the CIA. And you know what? This guy Bezos is no better of a businessman than I am. The only difference between Bezos and most of these other Jews is they have access to financing. They have access to unlimited funds. That's how Bezos started Amazon.com. You give me a rolling over billion-dollar loan that I don't have to repay, and I only got to pay the interest on for a number of years until my business, Amazon.com, starts being successful. And you give me almost basically an unlimited amount of time, and I will be a millionaire several times over, and maybe even be as wealthy as some of these Jews. That's the difference between the Jew and you. They have access to the financing. They have access to the capital. They believe in capitalism because they have all the capital. When I was in business and I had access to the capital, I was making very good money. I took the risk. I made the profit. The bank comes in, cuts off your line of credit, and you go down. You go to file bankruptcy to protect what you have left, and then you run into a Jew judge. That's how these people make all their money. They're not any smarter than anyone else. They're just clever. They're diabolically clever. And the last word I have here, before I go there though, these people making so much money that they're able to get a monopoly on some of the most important aspects of our culture. And that's why Bezos is able to own Amazon.com. He's able to buy the Washington Post. He's able to get a $600 million contract with the CIA, and I would surmise that that's only the beginning. And there's a lot of other backroom deals that are being made, offshore bank account transfers that we don't know anything about. These people are as crooked as the hind leg of a dog. And guess what? I'm going to save the best here for last. One last thing here, and I am sick and tired of you Judeo-Christians who think that Jesus was a Jew. I'm telling you again, if Jesus is a Jew, I'd rather go to hell. You got that, you Judeo-Christians? Christianity has absolutely nothing to do with the dirty, stinking Jew. You got that, Hagee? And all the rest of you Judeo-Christians. That's one of the biggest problems we got in this country, isn't the Jew. It's the fact that you Judeo-Christian pastors have your head up your posterior and you worship the Jew more than you do the kinsman redeemer. Jesus Christ was an Israelite, and the Israelites were not Jewish, and he didn't come to save the Jew first. It's your fault that this country is in the situation it's in because you don't think the Jew can do any wrong. And the next time I run across a Judeo-Christian, I'm going to remember the verse in Revelation 3 where Jesus Christ says, "You make me puke." I'm going to spew you out of my mouth, and I hope I throw up right on your head. Thank you for watching. Embrace the love of the truth. The good news is we're at 80% of the 1,000 subscribers needed for us to have other options if I don't get my channel removed before then, and who knows, that may happen. I've been censored on Lulu, censored on Amazon, and who's to say when we get to the 1,000 mark and this actually starts to get traction, this channel starts to get traction, who's to say these Jews won't censor me when we get to that point also, if not sooner. And may the grace of God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ, Yeshua, who was not a Jew, be upon us all, for we most certainly need it. See ya. And one more thing before we go. You know what? A lot of people may watch my videos and go, boy, there's an angry man. Well, you know what? If you're not angry with what these criminals are doing, If you don't have a burn in your loins, if you don't have a hatred for these people, then my guess is you're not doing shit. You're not doing anything. You're not in the game. You're on the sidelines. So if you were in the game like I am, you'd be angry too. See ya.